on the green on the second shot.
Never seen anything that long.
It's crazy.
But so when we were waiting for an hour and I was just playing on my Kindle. I wish I would have recorded my dad's truck when it stopped running, but I think my phone was too dead, so I couldn't. But we were waiting for like an hour to get a tow truck because my dad called his buddy from North Manchester, and you know how far that is from Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
So he finally came. You should have seen him. He was like, the exit of that car is go down this way, but he went into that road. He just reverse drived up that exit and and then he just kept backing up, and then he went forward in front of my dad's truck, and then he got it. Yeah, we had to ride in that tow truck. It's only extended cab. It had a bunch of junk in it too.
Yeah.
That wasn't very comfortable. Yeah, that tow truck, it's called a rollback. It's my dad's buddy's, Tony DeLauder. You know him?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he bonds people out of jail. So
I know a DeLauder, Reese DeLauder, but I don't know if I know him.
But I mean, yeah, but Tony actually just bought he bought a 2016 Ford F550 gas motor. It's only got 114,000 miles, or 15. But he has the one that he used to pick my dad's truck up is a 2007 Ford F650 with a Cummins, and that thing's got like 402,000 miles.
Isn't that crazy?
Still running great.
Amount of miles.
Those Cummins will run forever.
For sure. I want to get have you ever seen the Transformers?
I think I have.
One of the guys is off the Transformer. It's like a big, humongous
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like a mega cab or something. It's humongous.
Oh yeah, I think the Transformers are pretty neat. Yeah. But yeah, so my dad got his truck back on the road in 2 weeks. Got a brand new 2019 engine for it, right off of Ford's assembly line with no rebuilt, no nothing.
Wow.
So, and then he got that truck back on the road in like 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but you know what? But the water pumps on the 2011 motors and the 19 motors were different, so my dad had to put some parts from his 11 engine back onto the 19 engine. Actually, that engine actually didn't come with the alternator. My dad had to switch a lot of parts over. He had to switch his starter over, his alternator, the water pump. Quite a lot of stuff, though. But my dad took the old motor out. There was a bunch of aluminum shavings in the oil pan.
Not good.
My dad was so tempted to take it apart, but the problem is, though, he didn't, because he was going to take the engine back and he could get his money back, and they said if you take the motor apart, you won't get much back for your money.
Right.
So my dad was so tempted, and I was curious too. His truck's running good now. I mean, but the transmission is still original, and the rear end is still original.
I wish I could get a different rear end for this, so when I do a burnout, I got both tires instead of.
Oh,
It won't even do it. It won't even do a burnout on these tires.
I wouldn't think it would.
It's too grippy.
Well, that's good though, I guess, for winter.
Yeah. I did do a little peeling earlier today when I was at I was on Falls Avenue.
Oh yeah.
It said brrr. I'm like, oh, hello.
Speaking of burnout, my dad bought another vehicle.
That's what your mom was saying. You were showing it to her that one day. It was all stinky on the inside.
Yeah. He bought that, the 67 Ford. You should see that.
Is it good?
No.
Picture of it?
Yeah. I wish I would have took a picture of that frame. The frame on that driver's side, there's oh my God, it's like missing on. That frame is no good. It's worse than our piece of junk 66 we had. That's all patched up, and that was unsafe. This one's worse.
Really?
But this one was a 67 Ford Galaxy convertible. Yeah, and it had a brand new 289 motor in it. Never started once.
So it just sat there, right?
Left out in the weather, seized all the heck.
Oh, shit.
So, but me and my dad worked on it a little bit, and we actually think that motor's probably savable because, of course, one side had a bunch of rust in it because there's a little vent. The other side is just completely already freed up, but the other side wasn't. I mean, that motor wasn't even started one time. Just sat out with no hood.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Waste of money.
But if that motor's savable, my dad's thinking about selling it.
Get some money out of it.
Oh yeah, but we don't know if it'll run yet. And we hooked 12 volts up to it, and it still had the battery terminals in it, and the wires were still connected to those terminals.
Were they all rusty?
They were rough. Well, that car was last plated in 1989. Then that car was a one-owner car.
You know, in 1989, that's 1 year before when I was born.
Oh God. But that's when that car was last plated. But it was a one-owner car. I mean, it had some good body parts on it. We hooked 12 volts to it. Somebody put a digital radio in it, and that thing lit up. Speakers didn't work. Fuel gauge moved up. Convertible top worked.
Was it a nice top though, or was it junk?
You should see the back plastic. The tops look quite rough, but my dad could get some money out of it because we never would have thought nothing would have worked, and I got really shocked.
Yeah.
Because that convertible top went down and up, down and it worked.
Really?
Yeah, and it had fuel. The fuel gauge worked. I mean, I was surprised. I was so surprised.
That's crazy.
And I turned the hazard light. The turn signals didn't work, but I turned the hazards on. They just stay lit up, and the hazard light on the dash, they lit up. I was so surprised.
And we made it back in one piece. We didn't see nothing.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Hey, this is a 2-part video though.
There you go.
Thanks for letting me film.
No problem. No. Surprised you guys don't have deer.
Yeah, well, there is sometimes some in the yard because I have saw some in the yard before.
Have you?
Yes. Which I didn't think she'd be back already. That light's having a seizure right there.
I know. That one does it too. One of my lights does it.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget your controller.
Oh, I can get it. Oh.
A candle, huh?
Yeah, my aunt gave it to me.
You like candles?
Ain't too bad.
The good thing is I didn't lock it. My mom locked the door and I unlocked it, so we're good to go. So we don't have to climb through a window. That was so funny.
Yeah, there was one day that I went to town.
Yeah.
When I came back, I was trying to get back in the house.
And it was locked.
I was locked. I locked the front door, but I thought I shut it all the way.
You did.
Trying to get your mom away because I was come back in the house. It's cold. Just out here in a t-shirt and hoodie.
When was this?
I went to the bar.
Oh yeah.
She was mad at me.
Ah.
Oh well, typical women.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's truck though has almost 280,000 miles. I'm not even kidding right now. It's got that many miles on it. But it's got no rust. It's starting to have some rust on the cab.
Normally like the cap corners, right?
Yep, that's where it's starting to rust at.
That's what mine started.
But the problem is though, it's starting to rust because my dad used his 2011 Ford to plow snow with, and you know how hard that beats the heck out of vehicles.
Yep.
So back in
Those too.
yeah, my dad bought this 2005 Ford F-250 in January.
Did he?
It was a non-runner. It had a 6-liter diesel in it. Sat since 2015. So my dad put an IPR valve in it, and that fixed the issue. That truck's running good, but my dad recently just fixed a lower radiator hose leak because, you know, and we never replaced it. Now he has to fix a fuel leak in that truck.
When I got my truck, they said, yeah, you better not buy it. It's kind of junky. And I was like, well, you know, it's kind of what I want. But I'll take
Just something to a little beat around or something.
No, it was actually the truck that I have now. And I said,
Yeah.
I want it. I've always wanted one. Quad cab, you know. And
Yeah.
so I gotta put a new, not the reef hitch, but the hitch.
Yeah.
That you hold it onto or whatever. That
Yeah.
connects. I gotta buy one of those. It's all rusted.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my Landmaster started having issues.
Did it?
I started that thing up. Oh, it was missing like crazy. I floor it. I probably couldn't get it like past maybe 12 or 15 mile an hour. It had no power. I mean, it stayed idling. I mean, surprisingly, it didn't die, but it just ran.
New spark plug?
It's got new spark plugs in it. But I think I started running premium gas.